Hello children, welcome to the new video. Today we are going to do an activity on picture composition. Today we are going to write a picture composition together and see how it is done. As we have learned in the previous video on picture composition, I have taught you the different steps to follow while writing a picture composition. So, if you remember, the first step was to observe all the details of the given picture. The picture in front of you is there and you have to observe the picture carefully, note down all the details in your mind. Step 2 is to ask some questions and note down their answers. For that, again, we have to look at the picture very carefully and observe what we see in the picture and then ask some questions to ourselves about it. So, here are some sample questions which you can ask to yourself about the given picture. First question can be, what scene does the picture show? What do you see is happening in the picture? Next question is, what are the mother and daughter doing? As you can see in the picture, there are 4 people. We can also assume that it is a family of 4 parents and their 2 kids. So we can see that the mother is doing something with her daughter. A similar question can be, what are the father and his son doing? As children, you can see in the picture, there we can say the father and the son, they are doing something. They are doing an activity. So we can ask a question to ourselves about what they are doing. We also see various different things in the picture and we can frame questions on that so that it becomes easier to write the composition. So, questions we can frame is, what toys do we see in the picture? As you can see, other than the toy that the father is holding in his hand, we also see some toys lying on the ground. So, we can use them to write the composition. Other than the toys, there are also some other things that can be seen in the picture. And for this, we can frame the question, what are the other things that you see in the picture or that we see in the picture? Children, it is very necessary to ask the questions to ourselves about what we see in the picture. It becomes easier for us to know the answers and the answers will help us to write the composition. The last question can make our concluding sentence for the paragraph. Are they enjoying? Do you see the people in the picture enjoying themselves? An apparent answer, the obvious answer is yes. We can see them enjoying. Why? Because they all are smiling. Now, after asking yourself certain questions, we have to note down the answers somewhere in a rough zone. These answers that we get will help us to write the composition. So the answer to the first question is, what scene does the picture show? As we can see that this is a picnic scene. When we go out to picnic with our family, this is what the scene looks like. The next question was, what are the mother and daughter doing? So, as we can see from the picture, we get the answer that they are reading a book. Or we can say that the mother is reading a book to her daughter. The next question is, what are the father and his son doing? Now, as you can see that the father is playing with his son. He is holding a ring in his hand and they are playing together. So, the answer can be they are playing with a ring. Next is, what toys do we see in the picture? So, apart from the ring that the father is holding, we can also see a football, we can also see a badminton set in the picture. So, we can write the answer badminton, football, ring. Next thing is, what are the other things that you see in the pictures? The other thing that can be seen are benches, teacups, some eatables in a box, flowers, grass, birds, and all these things. So we can make a list. We can also change the list while we are writing the composition. Children, the answers that we get, they are not hard and fast. They are simply the clues to write the composition. So we are going to change the answers according to our requirement to write the composition. The last question is, are they enjoying? Yes, they are happy and they are enjoying. We can see them smiling and having a nice time. So we can simply conclude that they are happy and they are enjoying the picnic. Now, children, as you can see, we have got a set of questions and answers. Remember that these set of question and answers you have to frame by yourself. You have to ask the questions to yourself and you have to give yourself the answers. The answers will help you to frame the composition. It is not necessary to write the exactly same answers. They are only clues or ideas to write your composition. Now, let us move on to the next step. Now, let us write the composition together. So, as I have told you earlier, the first thing that we have to decide is the title of the composition. So, an apt title for the composition can be Picnic Day. Let us now come to the composition itself. Children, if you remember, I have told you earlier that the first line of the composition should be the introduction line. So, for this composition, the introduction line is, this is the scene of a family who is enjoying a picnic. After introducing our scene, what we have to write is the body of the paragraph. The body should describe what we see in the scene. So we will write it like this. We can see a family of 4. The mother is sitting on a mat. She is reading a book to her daughter. The father is playing with his son. They are playing with a ring. We also see some other toys such as football and a badminton set lying on the ground. It is a beautiful place. There are clouds in the sky. We see a small bird. There is a lot of green grass and some flowers. There are also some benches to sit. Some eatables are also seen. Now, up till here, we have explained the scene in our words. For this, we have used the answers that we had noted down. Now we will come to the conclusion of our composition. So, the conclusion is everyone is happy and enjoying the picnic. So children, Now you see how a composition is written. Keep in mind that the first thing to write is the title of the composition, then is the introduction, then the body, and finally the conclusion of the paragraph. Ideally, a picture composition should be of 10 to 12 lines. Let us read it one more time. Picnic day. This is the scene of a family who is enjoying a picnic. We can see a family of four. The mother is sitting on a mat. She is reading a book to her daughter. The father is playing with his son. They are playing with a ring. We also see some other toys such as football and a badminton set lying on the ground. It is a beautiful place. There are clouds in the sky. We see a small bird. There is a lot of green grass and some flowers. There are also some benches to sit. Some eatables are also seen. Everyone is happy and enjoying the picnic. So children, this is how we write a picture composition. I hope you have learned it well now and you will try to write some composition yourself. Thank you for watching and keep learning.